I was telling you, man, I was so happy that you were getting this chance because we've talked about like our interest in Native American, culture, history, language. For me, like if we're talking about indigenous languages, there's no other like subset that I'm more interested in than Native American language, whether it be, Cherokee or Navajo. And it must have been so completely surreal because for me that seems like a dream, and you like literally got to live something that I don't know, 0.00000.1.
Well, yeah, they don't.
1. I mean, come on.
They generally, like, you can go to Navajo Nation, but in terms of getting to stay, like, families don't invite people in like that. Like, that's not, a very common thing. And that's, again, that's with, I think people see the good in what Xiaomanyc does, because for Navajo, there's not a lot. And to see somebody of his size try to learn, if you go and look at the comments on his last video, it's tons of positive, and it's just, wow.
Thank you. That just came out?
Yeah. Thank you for doing, like, because so many people don't think about, these native, it's called Native American because they are the native to this country. We're not native. Like I'm not. What is American? I'm a white person. I'm like German, French, English, whatever else mixed together. I mean, I'm not American outside of the fact that I was born here. Like they are the actual true Americans.
This is true.
And going to see that and getting to do something that, not. I mean, if it's a percentage, it is several zeros long after that decimal and then a 1 of people who can do what we got to do. But, and it was just an opportunity, I think, for Xiaomanyc to be able to give back and honestly to get some eyes on a language that may not be as big, or not may not, it is not as big. I think it's considered an endangered language. But the thing is, with him learning it, to an extent of being able to converse a little bit, I think the hope is that for the younger generation of Navajos to see it and say, I need to learn the language of my people.
Wow. I never thought of it like that. Huh.
Yeah. Because a lot of the reason Navajo's dying out is because a lot of the younger generation aren't learning it. I mean, it's hard. I mean, it takes the hardest aspects of every language that you've ever studied, and that's what their core foundation is.
Are you serious?
It's subject, object, verb, so the word order's messed up. There's glottal stops in almost every word. There's tones, double consonants, double vowels. There's clicks, or not clicks, but there's like a sound, like a back of the throat. Like, yeah, I mean, it is incredibly difficult.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's easy to just say, well, English, why would we not speak English? But like the guy that we stayed with was a dude named Tyrell, and he said that he equates himself to being about 60% fluent in Navajo.
Wow.
And his parents both speak Navajo, obviously. But as his parents are getting older, when they're at home, they speak Navajo. And he said, I feel like I need to learn it because I'll at some point have to take care of them. And if they're going to speak Navajo and slowly forget English because they don't use it because they use Navajo, like I have to be able to talk to them.
Right.
So it's, I don't know. It's a good thing that he did that. And I'm hoping that people can, hopefully the younger generation can see that and say, well, this guy, learned some Navajo. So clearly I can also.
Absolutely. I mean,
and the project to me, it hit very, very close to home to me too, because my grandmother, her grandfather, I know we're getting into greats there, but he grew up and always lived on a reservation in North Carolina. He was Cherokee Native American. So obviously Cherokee is not Navajo, but just with it being a Native American thing, it definitely had a special place for me because of that.
Of course. I mean, it's like the same thing with me, like I have Mexican heritage, but at the same time, I feel kind of, some kind of connection to other, let's say Latin people in ways. So I completely get that.